You work so hard and do everything your boss tells you, but what has life given you?
A shame sandwich with a side order of shit.
When you know more about these eccentric millionaires, the term envy will be very short for you. So, be ready to see how overwhelmed you'll feel about the exorbitant riches of The Richest People in the World 2019. To make this top, I inquiry the Forbes Oracle, who gave me the ridiculous figures about the enormous fortunes of these wealthy. Number 10. Larry Page.
I'm Larry Page. I'm co-founder and CEO of Google.
Can you imagine a normal life without Google? It would be unbearable. One of its creators was Larry Page. So, in short, when this character was born, he already had a very promising future in science, since its parents were renowned artificial intelligence and computer programming professors from prestigious learning institutions such as the North Carolina and the University of Michigan. By the way, what were you doing before age 10? Well, Larry Page knew very well what he wanted to achieve, since his interest for computers and computer science woke up at the age of 6 years old. Following in the footsteps of his parents, Larry Page studied computer science, and during his grad school at Stanford, he met Sergey Brin. Both developed the most used search engine worldwide, Google.
Welcome to Google.
Currently, Larry Page is the CEO of Alphabet Inc., the parent company of Google, which enjoys a great heritage valued at more than $50 billion. Not bad, Larry. Not bad, Larry. Not bad. Number 9. Michael Bloomberg. Surely you remember the emphatic speeches of this character, Michael Bloomberg, who is the co-founder of Bloomberg LP, a global financial services, media, and software company that provides its customers with a computer system, which in turn offers financial data in real time. Believe it or not, these services have become a very important tool for companies worldwide. When Bloomberg was at the head of the mayor's office in New York, he was very concerned about the environmental issues. Are you one of those who care too much about nature?
I love you, Tree Daddy.
Well, Michael Bloomberg increased the green areas with the planting of 750,000 trees in the city. Good job, Michael! Besides, he's acquired many properties around the world too, including the former home of the novelist George Eliot, as well as being the owner of a luxurious Mooney Bravo private jet. Of course, this is all possible thanks to his fortune that exceeds $55 billion.
OMG!
Number 8. Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook. Could you live without Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg is the person who made this social network a reality since his bedroom at Harvard University in 2004.
Besides life.
It's very likely that you've asked yourself, what's the behavior of Mark Zuckerberg in the United States Capitol?
Strange.
Okay, for some it's hilarious, and for others it's very strange, to the point of creating thousands of theories about whether he's a robot, a reptile, or a hybrid. I think that maybe he was just nervous. You'd be with all these cameras in your face, don't you think? The truth is that Mark, unlike all the rest you'll see in this top, didn't come from a poor family. His parents supported him from a young age with programming lessons and private tutors, which helped him to obtain awards in math, astronomy, and physics during high school. Mark Zuckerberg's success worldwide with Facebook helped him, along with other investments, to amass a fortune valued at more than $62 billion. Good job, Mark! Number 7. Larry Ellison.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Larry Ellison.
Larry Ellison founded Oracle Corporation and achieved success thanks to a database software that you could be using every day, but perhaps haven't noticed. Did you know that Ellison dropped out of University of Illinois and that he also gave up his studies at the University of Chicago?
No way.
That's right, you could say he's a total deserter. But in fact, that was not an obstacle, so he became one of the most successful men in the world. Knowing this, tell me, would you also drop out of a prestigious college to pursue an endeavor? Let me know through your comments if you would dare to do it. In addition, it's a fact that you saw him on a large screen in 2010, since he has a brief appearance in the movie Iron Man 2.
This is Larry. Hey, the Oracle of Oracle. What a pleasure. Nice to see you.
Well, only someone as powerful as Larry could afford it. And of course, don't forget that he's also one of the most eccentric wealthy in this top due to his long line of exotic and expensive cars, including an Audi R8 and a McLaren F1. And if this were not enough, he is a licensed pilot, owner of several aircrafts.
How do you read, Captain? Loud and clear.
Of course, for all this, you only need a lot of money, and obviously Larry has money to spare, since he has a net worth of $62.5 billion.
I'm addicted to winning. The more you win, the more you want to win.
And from technology, we move into the fashion world. If you're a real shopaholic of the cutting edge of fashion, you should know that with your excessive expenses, you could enrich to Number 6. Amancio Ortega. Did you know that Amancio Ortega began in the textile world at the age of 14? Just as you heard it, while other people lived their lives as adolescents to the fullest, he was an employee of several clothing stores, observing and learning everything that would be useful for him in his great success in this market. Now, if you usually buy your clothes in Zara, I'll tell you my top-kept secret so that you're always trendy.
Nice outfit.
The success of this chain is fast fashion. That means if, for example, you fell in love with a beautiful outfit yesterday and thought about going back to the store to buy it on the weekend, it's very likely that it's not there anymore, so be smart. And buy it at that moment because there will be no more chances. It's now or never. So, after a whole entire lifetime in business and love of fashion, Amancio Ortega's fortune reaches $62.7 billion.
How did that happen?
Definitely the fast fashion business model became an all-gold mine for Amancio. Surely, just as I'm exploited day by day and maybe you hate your boss as much as I do, but Amancio Ortega seems to be a very respected boss and loved by his collaborators since the day he turned 80, all his employees waited for him together, with a lot of balloons to celebrate his birthday on a large scale. This gesture warmed Amancio's heart and he was moved to the verge of tears. Number 5. Carlos Slim Helu. He's the richest man of tequila country, Mexico. But Carlos Slim Helu did not make his fortune thanks to this drink, because he controls América Móvil, the largest mobile telecommunications company in Latin America. But how did he manage to become one of the richest? During an interview with Larry King, Carlos attributed his great success to his ability with numbers.
Smart. Very smart.
In addition to this talent, it seems that Carlos Slim has a special nose for business, as the purchase and sale of real estate, despite the fact that Mexico was paralyzed in the middle of crisis in the early 80s, he knew how to be successful. So many were his achievements that in 1985, he received the Medal of Honor to Merit Business of the National Chamber of Commerce in Mexico. And now, Carlos Slim goes for more. Currently, he obtains exorbitant profits from construction companies, mining, and real estate companies, for which he has managed to amass a fortune of $64 billion. Now, listen to this. When Larry King asked him what his biggest success was, Carlos Slim replied,
I think my family.
And you, what would you prefer? Drown in millions or enjoy the unconditional love of your loved ones? Tell me everything in the comments. Number 4. Bernard Arnault.
Our business model is based on creativity, innovation, and quality.
Wise words from Bernard Arnault, the richest businessman in France and owner of elegance and glamour of Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton, the conglomerate of the most luxurious and recognized fashion brands in the world.
I love it.
Now, be ready for a loving anecdote about Bernard's childhood. Although he was very mischievous and little disciplined when he was a child, he had a very kind heart and showed it when Bernard decided to live with his grandmother to accompany her after seeing her so sad after the death of his grandfather. Moreover, Bernard would stand out soon for his great perspective in business, for being an incredible visionary, and for knowing how to take the most accurate decisions. Bernard Arnault was able to revive great brands when they went through their worst moment, as Christian Dior. Can you imagine this brand going through lean years? Who would say it? Currently, Bernard Arnault enjoys a great fortune estimated at $76 billion.
Mon Dieu!
Number 3. Warren Buffett.
I like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company.
Do you die for a refreshing Coca-Cola? I definitely do. At 88 years old, Warren Buffett has confessed that he consumes up to 5 cans a day. Of course, and how not to do it? If he's the largest shareholder and president of Berkshire Hathaway Holding Company, owner of the shares of several business groups such as the Coca-Cola Company and American Express Company. It should be noted that it was not easy in the beginning, since when he was 7 years old, Warren's family went through a great economic crisis, And given that he didn't want to stay with his arms crossed, he started to buy all sorts of products like beverages at low prices so that he can resell them from door to door. Years later, Buffett Partnership Limited was founded by Warren Buffett, who, at the age of 30, became a millionaire. At 30 years old? And what are you doing right now? Getting a job at McDonald's? Since then, Warren Buffett didn't stop until reaching an equity that is over $82 billion.
Boy, that is the real thing.
Number 2. Bill Gates.
Homer, Bill Gates is here.
Bill Gates?
This successful computer entrepreneur began trying to conquer the world in his favorite games such as Risk and Monopoly. Bill Gates developed a great fondness for the only computer he had while he was studying at Lakeside's elite private school. There, he also met Paul Allen, with whom he began to develop projects in computing. In 1970, Bill, at 15 years old, along with Paul, created a system to measure automobile traffic in Seattle, whose system helped them to get a profit of $20,000. 5 years later, Bill Gates founded the software company Microsoft Corporation with his friend Paul Allen when he was just a student at Harvard University. However, their business tactics were very questioned in the 90s. For that reason, he had to face a trial for monopolizing the market.
Hey, what the hell's going on?
Oh, I didn't get rich by writing a lot of checks.
Currently, Bill Gates' fortune is valued at more than $96 billion. Wow, so much money. I hope you're enjoying them, Bill. I tell you, I'd like to have all your billions. Yes, that money you have in your bank account, Bill, but I need to keep a little envious for the richest of all. Number 1. Jeff Bezos. Sparkling personality, very particular laugh, and a non-existent hair. No, we're not talking about Dr. Evil, it's none other than Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos studied computer science and electrical engineering at Princeton University. And when he realized that he had an opportunity on the internet, he simply did not hesitate to found an online bookstore called Cadabra.com from his garage. Currently, Bezos, Amazon's CEO, has reached an estimated net worth of $131 billion.
That is the life.
However, after his divorce with Mackenzie, Bezos shall give her 4% of Amazon's shares, that is, approximately $35 billion. Ouch! On the other hand, Jeff Bezos has also had to face questions about the Amazon facilities in the United Kingdom, too. In addition, in 2018, a reporter proved by himself the humiliation in which the workers were supposedly subjected, and what he discovered was one of terror. That's unbelievable! There were only 2 toilets in the 4-story company. Also, the time that employees took to move from one place to another one within the company was monitored and accounted for. This led workers to urinate in bottles to save time to avoid being penalized. Can you imagine that? Come on, how many billions are needed to build enough toilets in Amazon? Did you feel a lot of envy? It's not hard to feel it when you see all that money. If you loved it, don't forget to give a like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell so that you can get more cool content at TrendMax.
Well, let's go back to that key. Cola, keep it company.